So first of all, let me welcome all of you guys in a lovely session on the 9th of April, uh, 2021, in the midst of COVID. Actually, it happens to be my birthday today, so
Oh,
it's going to be a very special session for me too. Forever young, so we are. Although don't go by, the gray beard. But those days that when we were in schools, those were the real comic days. We used to wait every month, sometimes in some editions every week, for the new Chanda Mama to come, Lotpot magazine to come, Diamond Comics to come in, and also that we had Commando Comics and Amar Chitragatha Comics. They used to have a new title published every now and then, and we all used to have a collector's item. We used to exchange with our friends and make sure that it was circulated privately within. And then many times, most of these were available in the school libraries, and then there were community libraries where these comic books were available. And then there was one more thing I remember was called the sports week, and along with the comic books we used to wait for the sports weeks as well. So when you actually grew up with that culture, and today you suddenly see that the digital ecosystem has taken the center stage, and then we have a lot to really see as to where which direction things are going. We need to definitely deliberate on how this very medium, which is, according to me, the greatest foundation medium of all kinds, uh, because anything that you want to do, whether nowadays that you are in animation or any other form, the basic actually starts with the comic books. Even the storyboard or even publishing of comics at a stage where you have many of these ideas to be registered and the copyright to be secured. The comic book publication and the storybook publication is the easiest mechanism to do so. Having said that, in fact, I would like to quickly take you guys through initial thoughts on Forever Young. What are your thoughts about the comic books and its impact on the generations? Although many of us we are connected with the kids programming, I would not like to stick only to the kids, because I'll be bringing in some references from Japan, where the comic books still exist in different forms, and people still consume it on, if you go on the local trains, the metro, they call it whatever, and you will see all adults also consuming comics. So I think it's an aged agnostic kind of a medium, but we kind of got it stuck in particular form. So let's start with Shekhar. Shekhar, can you please throw light on Forever Young and your thoughts quickly? If you can actually keep it short for 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, each one of us, so we can go into discussions.
I will just like to add regarding the publication, which you said the reading habit basically has gone down. We've been producing kids content and plus film content since last for more than 50 plus years. So what over the years we have seen the metros basically in like cities like Delhi and all, the kids are having real issues, reading out and having good content or Hindi content basically. So they do read, they read English magazine or something. So reading habits in general for comic books have gone down. So this is where we are struggling to actually get our new readers, young readers. We've grown up in our libraries, school libraries. When I was young, I've seen Mayapuri in barber shop first of all in my life. So this is where I got introduced to Mayapuri. And where Lotpot is concerned, I've taken Lotpot on rent for like 1 rupee a day, something like in my summer vacations. So we have grown because that was the option, and that was the, I think, culture in North India to have comic books or something to read. But nowadays that thing is actually going down, and really the publishers are struggling to get new readers. So that's the challenge. That is, I think that's what I had to add.
Thanks so much. In fact, I know it's touching the reality. Can we go to Mr. Kurikoshi, please? If you can come in and give us your thought about Forever Young and the comic books. You have to unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Hi, yeah, of course.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of like a house shift, which is why I'm taking this from my car.
We can't hear you properly, but
Can you hear me now?
yeah, much better.
Okay, cool. So, to answer your question, Forever Young, um, I mean, yes, I definitely agree that like comics like sort of like speaks to the child within you. Like, I mean, it's like what you said. Like, in Japan, they have this very like dominant sort of like comic reading culture, and they have comics targeted at different age groups from like young boys and girls, and then there's 20 somethings, and then there's 30 plus. So I mean, it's a very different sort of medium there, and it's given a very different sort of respect, I feel, in Japan. In India, I think like one of the challenges. I mean, definitely like uh, my colleague here just said is acquiring new readers is definitely a problem, and it's always seen as something childish, something that's acquainted with kids, like Tinkle and Champak and Notebook and all of that have that sort of vibe. But having said that, I do feel like the kind of brand value that these brands have, like the legacy that they have, because of the fact that they've been around so long. Uh, and a big example of this for us, at least at Tinkle, was last year during lockdown, when the lockdown started and we had to suddenly, like fast track our digital, like sort of pivot. The moment we launched our app and we opened the floodgates saying, okay, you guys come in and check out our app on a digital platform, we got between Amar Chitragatha and Tinkle, we got over 5 lakh signups, instantly. So that was a huge like sort of like booster shot for us, that told us, okay, we're doing something right. We still are relevant to like these families. We're reaching out to these kids. So I do think that it's still there. The market's still there. It might be about reaching out to kids on devices that they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
So paper might not be the way to go. So that is possibly like what I. But definitely, as long as I'm working here, I feel forever. Much to say.
Good. I think you are on the move. That's why we see you in the car. Bharat, would like to bring you at this stage. If you can unmute yourself and give us your initial thoughts, please. Thanks.
Hi, dear Ashish. Well, I'm not a comic guy, I tell you. I'm from amusement industry, yes, but comic is a new subject to me. Uh, I enjoyed reading comics till my teens. Yes, I also enjoy adult comics. Corona was good time, a good family time. Book reading was fun, and I enjoyed few comic books. Yes, I watched all TV and OTT channels. The films I have not seen from Mirzapur to any I saw. Rather, I watched all these comic movies also, those mythological and all. Frankly speaking, I do not see. It will be rather contradictory to. I do not see much in comic prints. Digital is evolving, but it'll take. It's evolving commercially. It's not doing that. But yes, I since I'm a investor kind of a guy, I do smell some money, rather good money in IP, in licensing. Yes, few innovative modules if designed and done. It is not only print or digital or comic. It can be character also. It can be something else. It has to be moduled. I tell you. I do not wish to share much about comic, but the future is great. Second thing is anything from comic to anything we watch or read or anything, it is all amusement, I tell you. And amusement is an experience. So if it is fun, maza hai to money hai. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, I think we need more Bharats like people in this industry to believe, you know, in these kind of ideas, and they believe that this can actually become big with IP. I really love that thought because if the investor community is ready, a lot of things that we can create, and we have a very vibrant, uh, creative economy that is moving around. I think in some point in time, Richa is also going to join us. But thank you very much, Bharat. And I would like to bring in Anshul for the initial, thoughts at this point in time. Anshul, please go ahead. And for everyone.
Hi, everybody. You would be surprised to know that this is my first time on a Zoom call.
Wow.
So I'm, not actually tech savvy that much. So
I must say
coming
you're
to
doing very well.
really, so
Yeah.
coming to my, company. Do you
Yeah.
know what is the tagline of our company? It's 8 से 80 साल के बच्चों के लिए.
Yeah.
So what it means is that we really cater to a very, broad audience, and from children to their parents, their brothers, sisters, elder brother, sister, parents, and till grandparents. Our
Yeah.
comics are read and enjoyed by a very, very, big age group of people.
Yeah.
And I have been a part of this discussion today, and I'm very surprised to hear when people are saying that physical comics are dead and comics aren't selling. I am really shocked to read, hear all this, because the reality is that we are the only publishing house that has been afloat for all these years. Not even a single day has gone where we have not been, churning out comics, and we are very periodically and systematically releasing comics every month, and we are doing good numbers. And it's very sad to hear this, that comics don't sell, and the future is only you will be very surprised that it was a surprise to us also that during this lockdown we were shut for around 3 months, but the sales figures that we had were crazy, and we almost were exhausted with all the old stock that we had. We made sure that we were, shipping our comics. Thankfully, pulling some strings in the government, we were able to ship comics to our customers, and we got so many, fan mails on social media. Also, we got a big thanks from so many of our lovers that told us that how grateful and thankful that they are, that they are able to connect back to their childhood. And post this demonetization, because publishing business is a very tough business today. Demonetization, what happened was cash totally evaporated from the system, and the publishing business and distribution system runs mostly on cash, because our comics are available to small retailers and distributors who buy with as little amount as 500,000 rupees, and some bigger ones are separate, but mostly masses jo hai, they buy in a very small amount of money. So that cash completely vanished. We didn't have money to print, so we were out of business for around 6 months. We had no printing going on. But before that, we were selling around 6 to 10 lakh comics a month. And it's not a small number, it's a very, very sizable number, selling 1 million copies. Variable in the year means during the exam times, the production would be down, sales would be around 2 to 4 lakh comics a month. And at the time of the chuttis of children, their summer holidays and their October holidays around Diwali,
Mhm.
sales were back to 8 to 10 lakh copies a month. So demonetization, yes, we were shut down, sales went down, but post that we picked up well. We came back to around 4 to 6 lakh copies in a month. And then again with GST, there were some issues because a lot of focus was on to make in India, and government ka pressure tha, but we still managed to keep afloat. There were a lot of complaints of our readers saying paper acha nahi hai, printing achhi nahi hai, because you are used to a system and suddenly that system is no more. You are forced into a new system, so we still managed. And it's with the pandemic that production totally stopped,
Mhm.
but we were maybe you can say you have to leverage on your weaknesses. Weaknesses being in the publishing industry, you are stuck with a lot of stock. But we capitalized on all the stock we had, and we did all that we could to deliver comics to children. And I'm also hearing a lot today that the world is going digital. People are stuck onto digital platforms, and they love watching Netflix. If that is really true, then how are we selling? How do we exist till today? And how are we managing to sell comics? Isn't it surprising? You'll be surprised that railways is shut, and most of 70% of the market is railways. But we are taking that transitional shift from selling comics to offline stores to selling physical comics online. Physical comics are being sold online, and it was very tough, but we have picked up, and it's doing quite well. If today we manage to sell around 1,80,000 copies only on our online platform, physical comics, I think that's a very big achievement. So I would not agree that physical sales are going down. And you will be surprised that it's the parents and grandparents who were under lockdown who would call us, who have been grown up reading our comics, that they want to introduce their children to the world of comics. Children are having a burnout on digital screens. They no longer want to touch their phones because they are studying on their phones, and they just want a break. They don't want to touch the phone and their computers anymore. And Netflix and all, yes, they have had a major impact on the entire business of comics, because entertainment is moving into other dimensions, and children are finding new means of entertainment, but the classic still holds ground. I want to say that the classic is still there, and people want to read physical comics. The trend has come back after this, it going down for around, you would say, 2 years. The business was down, but the trend has started to pick up, and it's picking up in a very big way all over the world, not only India. So grandparents are asking for comics, and they want to read it to their grandchildren. So this is what I will be happy if I can share videos of parents reading comic books to their children, with children in their laps. And this is of yesterday only. So these things are very encouraging to us, that yes, we are still there, and still connected to our audience. And yeah.
Well, Anshul, the thing is, it's a great perspective. In fact, when you're talking about the dimension in terms of the physical versus digital, uh, I think the only reference is that what it used to be versus what it is right now. And I think definitely there are trends which are changing. But if the figures show us during pandemic and post-pandemic, if the numbers of physical copies are increasing, it's a great sign, because it's got a great shelf life, and it can continue to work, and it can continue to make money for all the publishers and the distribution ecosystem. So having said that, let me quickly come to see if Richa is there. Is Richa there already? Himani, can you check if Richa is joined? Anyway, by the time you tell us, let me go back to Shekhar and ask him. Shekhar, it's what we have seen basically with the comics is that some of the best comics and the best known characters actually make it to a television screen, and some of them also make it to the big screen. So can you please talk about what goes into the character development so that you build the character through comics to be taken to the next level?
So as you know that we have the number one show. It's called Motu Patlu on Nickelodeon I think since 2012. What goes around is that initially also, once we've been there since 1968. So the content was developed with a team, with a group of people from different diversities, different cities, and the kind of focus group activity we used to do initially also keeping kids in mind. Now the focus has changed from the old established characters to contemporizing them to today's audiences, today's kids. So yes, we are facing that challenge, but that is a very good transition which is happening slowly and steadily. Even our Motu Patlu, if you see, once they started, they are like a middle-aged, men. But the focus has gone towards today's kids' daily problems, issues, and that is how we are developing the new characters. We have huge library, and we, as I said, the finding new readers, like we, have a magazine called Loadport, which is like a magazine. We started up with a standalone comic of Motu Patlu with Madame Tussauds. So that has picked up very well. Like as I earlier said, that young parents, uh, uh, they have grown up reading our magazine, but they do not get good content for their kids to how what to read. We got a dipstick done. So now having a Loadport magazine, a Motu Patlu magazine, which kids see on TV, but the clean content. So they encourage them to read this. So when the things were right and Madame Tussauds was on, our sales figure from their counter, which is the only place we are selling right now, is close to what, like 200 or 150 magazines initially picking up. So so that's the trend which is going on. So creating an IP nowadays is very critical. We keep everything in mind. Our readers, our comic, our viewers. So it goes around. I mean, it's a very, very lengthy process. I won't take you through all of that. But yes, we keep the old, crisp ingredients which we have of Loadput and merge them with today's audience's requirement. So that's what it is required. Yes, getting them into digital is a challenge, and but if you have a IP which is there on on a broadcaster or an OTT platform, it helps to create awareness and to reach out to more audiences. So that's what I had to add on to this.
And can I get thanks Shekhar for that perspective, but I would like to ask a little more from Mr. Kuriokoshi. Can you switch on your camera, please, if you're there?
Yeah, I'm here. The internet is quite patchy where I am right now, so that's why I've kept my camera feed off. I hope that's okay.
No, not a problem. So my question to you is a very similar one. You have a fleet of characters in Twinkle. Of course, Amar Chitra Katha, some of the characters. So what's the transition? What are you creating any of the new trendy characters in comics which can be taken to the next exploitation cycle?
Definitely. So it's two parts, right? So we basically have this huge stable of characters from 40 years, right? And so the enduring legacy of characters like a Supandi and a Shikari Shambhu is unmatched. I mean, they have for one, they have like a 35-year head start on like their contemporaries. And obviously for us, these are our most popular characters. We have done shows in the past featuring these guys. We have an entire YouTube series featuring Supandi and Shambhu. But what is interesting is that, while for us and our generation, they're the characters that speak to us, our current readership, for example, thrives on our newer characters. So we have a set of paranoid, defective detectives, so to speak. Mm-hmm. They're amazingly funny, and they see a mystery everywhere and a conspiracy where there is none. So so they do fantastically well. And as per our awards, internal awards that we did last year, where we do like a reader survey, mm-hmm. The defective detectives actually rank right behind Supandi. So they're the second most popular Tinkle Toon, mm-hmm. right now, even ahead of Shikari Shambhu. Okay. So I do feel we are definitely speaking to a very wide range of audiences with very, relatable characters. We have a superhero character from the Northeast called Wingstar. Mm-hmm. She's amazing. She's in this place called Aizba, where she's 13 years old. She doesn't want to be a superhero. She'd much rather be like a regular school-going girl. But this character has done fantastic, work for us in the sense that, we're trying to represent a part of the country that isn't talked about as much. And we get so much love for this character because just that, there's so many kids in these places who read so much. Like one of our strongest centers is the Northeast in terms of readership. And they're so happy that they have a character that, that looks like them, that talks like them, that they can relate to, and is a bona fide superhero. So we have a bunch of IPs who are ripe to make that transition to all other platforms. And it's like what they've been saying. I do feel we live in an age where it's like what you said, it's not like comic books are that foundation, but it can be translated across mediums, right?
Absolutely.
So be it like animation, be it movies, TV
Yeah, so
shows.
I was talking more about characterization, and I think I get the gist of where you come from, but I'm going to come back to you on the stylization.
Definitely.
Before I get Bharat back, I would like to ask this question to Anshul. Diamond Comics has a big history, and it's been, having a lot of characters. So, what kind of character designs and what kind of characters have you taken away from comic books as a base to exploit them into different screens and different forms?
See, we have around 65 characters under our umbrella, including Indian and international characters, out of which 43 characters are our original characters,
Mhm.
which we have developed. So going forward, initially we were quite reluctant to enter the digital space because, we believed that initially we believed that, it might not pick up so well. There was no, formal base or, people who had first moved into digitizing their comics in India. So we took it a little slow, and we were slow on it. But with times, as we realized that uh, digital marketing and digital publishing is picking up, we also took our foray into digitization.
Mhm.
So we started with our most famous characters, which is Chacha Chaudhary, Billu, and Pinky initially, and we digitized them in-house because the comics that were made by late cartoonist Pran, they were all not made on a digital platform by a digital pen. They
Mhm.
were all done on paper, so it
Yeah,
was not an easy task to digitize them. It was
yeah.
quite expensive and time consuming as well. So, we started with that, and initially we launched an app on the Apple Store. It was a very big success, but certain problems happened for which we had to, shelve that thing off. And we later realized that if we have to do something, we have to do it on our own, because somebody has to take the bite, and we wanted to do it in-house. So we have been working on making a very big digital platform, and it is
Mhm.
live, but not at a perfect state of tune. But yes, we are now with almost 2,000 comics are already uploaded there.
Yeah.
We yet need to do its marketing well, but what I wanted was, I wanted the setup and the foundation to be ready first before we
Yeah, so
take
my
on a
question
marketing
was a
plan.
little different. My question was that any of these characters which are original, have
Yeah.
you transcended them to television and to
See,
the
in
feature,
I'll tell
or
you,
even in the merchandise area?
in television, our advent into television was in the year 1991, where we launched 5 movies, which were
Yeah,
live movies based on 5 of our characters,
characters. Yeah.
and they were wide variety of characters. One was Tauji and Rumjum, then there was Mahabali Shaka,
Yeah.
then there was Motu Chotu.
Mhm.
So we were the first one to come out with movies, and
Yeah.
then obviously with Sahara TV and Ketan Mehta. Before that, we
Yeah.
started with Chacha Chaudhary, which
Chaudhary,
was a
yes.
very big success.
Yeah.
Then we teamed up with Mukesh Khanna for Shaktiman,
Mhm.
and we have been tasting success on the television screen quite a bit, and also one avenue which we were quite popular with was the radio, India Radio.
Mhm.
So our advent with other mediums has been since the past 20 years now, 30 years, since 1990s. And then you all are aware that television, with the advent of these satellite channels, it became very expensive as a medium, to
Mhm.
do things on your own, because we are a small company financially.
Yeah.
So, and publishing faces a lot of challenges also. So we couldn't capitalize on them for some time, but in other means,
But have you got into licensing anytime?
yes, we had, and we started with Bradford Licensing, but our experience was not good with them.
Okay.
And right now we have Bharatji on our board, and he is going to steer us forward in this new dimension. And we want to
Yeah,
do
because
things.
my my understanding is with a large character, or well-known characters in the portfolio. Uh, Actually, it's a great potential. And my next question is to Bharatji. Bharatji, in fact, when you look at as an investor, do you look at it per se in terms of a publishing business, or you look at the potential of this publishing business to license it beyond publishing and making money from there? So what's your mantra when you invest into these kind of an ideas?
If I'm not mistaken, you want to know whether I see more business in publishing or allied. This is your question, no?
Correct.
Well, I have, what to my best of knowledge, what I have seen is uh, industry is changing. I tell you, uh, it is not only publishing; it is something else. Um, Publishing book, I'd rather say offline or online. This is one vertical that the industry, the comic industry, is doing very well from last say 50 years.
Yeah.
And I have seen international characters also. Characters have, to my knowledge, characters have earned more than the comics.
Yeah.
Making a comic, making a digital, making a movie, making a rather a printing is an affair which is not very commercial, not very commercially profitable. So yes, my question is the allied services are more.
Okay. So having said that, uh, the whole industry, the way it's known, with the culture that you actually go and have, of course, right from we have Diamond Comics, we have Amar Chitra Katha, and we also have the Mayapuri and the Lotpot. The stylization is something that carries a lot of weight. Uh, uh, the industry in the case of Japan was known because they had the manga style of comics, and eventually when those comics were so popular that when they saw the next avatar in animation, they were called anime styles. So the styles itself are known from the region, and I think a very interesting, uh, input that was given from, one of our speakers about the Northeast as a region and the culture that gets represented. Of course, Diamond Comics in Motu Patlu are all from the northern region, so a lot of northern flavor comes with those characters. Uh, Kishore, sorry, Shekhar, what goes in, whether when you create the new age characters, and this is my question with, I need a very quick answer because we will run short of time, because I have 5 or 6 more questions for you guys. I want to know quickly that, are you very consciously building your styles, or it just happens that some artist has done something somewhere and that became a style? Because Amar Chitrakatha had a particular style, Chandamama had a particular style, Lotpot had a particular style, Diamond has a particular style. But then to say that whether India has a style of its own, there is a big question mark, and that's why my question to you guys.
So, basically, if you see, the only two big characters in India which has gone big, which is Motu Patlu and Chota Bheem. So people,
No, Chota Bheem didn't go from the comic book onwards. So let's stick to the comic book.
Okay. For the comic books only, that there are two ways of it. One is that for our old characters, we need to contemporize them for today's audience, as a pure said Par also. Now, for new characters which we develop, we consciously make it a point that those characters are, appealing to wider audiences, and they are, for even for international also. We keep that market also in mind. So yes, the transition and the conceptualization of any character, even for a mytho character, like we get requirement for a superhero, we get requirement for a mytho character, or probably a rhyme character. So we, other than just focusing on India as a market or northern flavor, as you said, for Motu Patlu we have, we make it a very, very, a kind of a appealing characterization, so that it is, it appeals to audiences not in India but abroad also. Yes, for the same reason we have two separate teams now. The one team is which takes care of our old IPs, which we have a lot of, like 200 plus IPs we have. Another team which is of the young blood, like people, kids who are like in their 20s. So they bring that flavor, they bring that appeal, which is appealing to younger audiences nowadays. So it's a very challenging job, but yes, it is that transition is happening slowly and steadily.
Yeah. So my question goes to Kuryakush. When you have inherited Amar Chitra Katha, which was created by Uncle Pai. For the
Yes.
mythology, they had a particular kind of styling for the heroes from the freedom struggle. They had a particular styling, and of course, when he created his own characters like Ramu Shamu and Kapish and Rekha and all these, they were different styles. So uh, what are you trying to do at this point in time? Is there Amar Chitra Katha style, or there is as it comes and as you design?
So the thing is, I mean, it's interesting. So Amar Chitragatha definitely, we do like look at like newer characters, newer artists, and different styles across. So we use a multitude of artists because it's always important. I feel like to get like interpretations. Uh, it's fun to see different interpretations of the same characters, especially mythology and history and so on, right? But I'll speak more about Tinkle though because that's what I've been sort of focusing on. So of course for us, I think the biggest challenge has been to, we have to appease like the older generation, the nostalgia crowd, which loves our stuff over the years, as well as talk to kids of today, right? So what we do is we walk a very fine line where we don't lose the flavor of what made these characters special and unique and endearing. But we do definitely experiment more with the look and feel of our newer characters and go beyond, especially in terms of layouts, in terms of paneling, because I feel that's really opened up. Like what was happening in the past was it was a very what do you say, orthodox 5 panel, 6 panel setup, like box, 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 box. But now we're going all out with the splash pages and like having like characters break panel borders, having like no borders around like any like, so there's a lot of experimentation happening at that level. And in terms of stylization, uh,
I think
yeah, so
Richa
in
has
terms of
just
yeah, I think
yeah.
she just announced her arrival. So, so in terms of character design itself, like there is a lot of thought that goes into it, especially depending on the medium that you're like adapting it for. Now,
Yeah.
for example, like Supandi is drawn. Supandi and Shikari Shambhu have been drawn by artists been working on these characters for more than like 15, 20 years. Shambhu, for example, is still drawn by Savio Mascarenhas, who's been drawing him for almost 27 years now. And Supandi is drawn by Archana Ambedkar, who is the daughter of Ram Ambedkar, who drew
Yeah.
Supandi the first time around. So these characters definitely in the comics, there's a lot of like what do you say, similarity to what they were like 20 years ago. But for our newer characters, say Wingstar or Defective Detectives, which is drawn by Abhijit Kini, or Super Weirdos, which is again drawn by Abhijit Kini, like Tantri is drawn by Vineet Nair, and Tantri
Yeah.
is a character who's seen a lot of like evolution across the years.
Yeah.
So there definitely we look at what's working, what appeals to kids today, like what are the colors they're using, palettes. And again, I have to say like it depends on the medium also. So when we adapt a Supandi or a Shikari Shambhu for the visual medium, it's a very different sort of flavor that you're giving. So right now we're working on a new Shambhu series, an animated series, and they're going to be like micro shots essentially. And they've been designed by Chetan Sharma at Animagic India. And we've gone with a very like unique and modern sort of take on this character while not giving up on his trademark mustache and his solar topi, all the stuff that makes Shambhu Shambhu, right? So it's very exciting, and it's a very fine line that you have to walk by. You don't let go of the past, but you can't ignore what is happening right now. Yeah.
Absolutely. In
Am I?
fact,
I hope I'm clear.
no, no.
I
I
hope
I,
like
I
my
think I got the sense. I got the answer. So I'm actually going to let Richa settle down a little bit before I go to her because I can see she's in the car getting in from the airport. Anshul, when you are designing your new shows, what kind of genres are you looking at? Are you still looking at the kids as a genre, or you're looking at different age profiles? Of course, you said that your tagline is, people cover till 80. But what is a very conscious percentage of content that you produce for kids and the content that you're producing or investing into for middle-aged and content for all ages. Anshul? I think I've lost Anshul, so I'll take the Richa. Let us welcome you, and I know you have gone through the whole the COVID issues at the airport. But quick take, in the new age of the content, because we have joined in the middle, quickly, if you can tell us where is the major investments going in terms of the comic books, whether you're looking at the stylization, what kind of genres, and whether the focus is still towards the kids or we look at all ages.
Hi, Ashish, and everybody, all my co-panelists, a very big hi. So please forgive me for that.
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah. Okay. Champak per se has been a magazine that has more focused on stories rather than comics.
Yeah.
And
I think you will have to be closer to the mic. We are missing you.
And the whole idea to children, what are the... Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So the whole idea being that we want to show to children what are the different ways mediums can be brought out to. So we are not very comic in terms of character comics. They are not very strong in a Champak magazine. Though having said that, we still have Chiku, which was drawn by Pran many years ago. It started, I think, in the late 70s. And then Chiku has also gone a metamorphosis, over the years. And he looks more younger.
Mm-hmm.
And we do introduce characters within the magazine, which is because they're all in a forest. All these animals who actually interact with each other, they are in a forest setting. They're anthropomorphic, and they're in a forest setting. So we keep introducing a large number of female characters now. I don't think we are very strong on characterization. I would say in Champak, we are not very strong on characterizations. We are more strong on what is the emotion of the story that we want to bring out to the children. Okay. So our characters actually, when we talk to, illustrators who we work with, we keep telling illustrators that, look at a story and what does it evoke in you? And, different illustrators will look at different evocations that a story brings and their own characterizations of the character in that story. So I would say at Champak, we are not very strong on characterizations and we don't run comic strips which are continuous. We are more looking at the idea that how does a story appeal to a wide variety of children across India and the diaspora of the Indian audience outside India as well.
That's great. So your mantra is all about the emotion and the story. And that's fair. In fact, that's where you can draw. So Bharatji, my question to you is, what are the innovations that can be done with the present state of our industry in India to be more sustainable and, for the whole business of comics to make more sense with an investor point of view and stay more relevant to the industry? So what are your takes on these three issues?
Well, I see comics as two things. One is the story, the print, the offline, the online thing. Second is the character. I see a character is stronger than the story.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen Chhota Bheem, we have seen Doraemon, we have seen international and Indian characters. Chacha Chaudhary and Sabu. Now, these are strong characters, but we have not made money out of this, I tell you. I was working on a school project, which was a government project, wherein the school bags were to be procured, and the government was looking for some good numbers, say 3.5 lakh or 4 lakh of bags, which were to be supplied to government schools. Now, they were looking for a character. What if We sync these characters, and it's huge money, I tell you. So what
Yeah.
I see is one thing: characters, yes, money. Second is we have I have seen companies we are very weak. I'll not say that's not the right word. I will take it back. The licensing part.
Yeah.
That is
I would say we are not matured
mature.
licensing country as of now.
Yes, and secondly, what we look at it, we I have seen old comics also. What we see at US, see at Bollywood, we see at DC or all these Marvel and all. We copy them. If we go about, I was just watching that Hanuman series of ours. It's beautifully done. I have seen Bahubali caricatures, beautifully done. Now, do you know? You must be knowing Bahubali and all these movies. They have
Yes.
done numbers like anything. I tell you.
Yeah.
And we have a story. We have a history. We are a civilization of around 10,000 years old. We
Yeah.
have epics. We have those Vedas. We have every story. Look, the kind of story, the kind of epics. We call it myth. I don't use that word myth, but this is look. If we convert this into, we are coming up with Ram Temple. We have n numbers of these kind of. Now this is money. I tell you.
No, I always believed I created Little Krishna and Shaktiman because of that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because there is a sense in that that brings in. So I think the opportunity not only to create comics originally from comic books or originally only built with a comic idea, but an opportunity to actually convert a film into
I
illustrative.
would comment Raja Ravi Verma.
Yes.
Look, we used to read stories. We used to read Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Krishna, and all stories. It was Raja Ravi Verma who brought these the life
The
into these
pictorial
all
form. Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
So this is the time wherein these all comic characters be created. They are in this thing. Many of you publishers and the creators have worked on, but they are not monetized. They have a reach, but reach to a limited and uh, basically I do not see. I have gone through few chapters also. I've served few news articles on Google also. There are no the kind of numbers that Marvel or DC or some international companies we are nowhere.
Okay, my question to Shekhar and Kuriya Koshi, quick question: that while you want your characters to be licensed to different screens in the different mediums and different forms, why is it that you are not actively pursuing or known films or the known books to be taken the license off to be converted into the comic books? Why is the reverse trend not happening with the publishers like you guys?
So, am I audible? Can you
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
me?
yeah.
Okay. So, as you said, if we have to reverse that route, see, it's a very costly affair because if we have to choose a particular, say, movie or something to get their right, like Fukre, like the Discovery took, or Simba, for example, or Singham, those are very, very costly affairs. I have personally approached, I won't name the movies now, but I personally approached 2, 3 movies, production house and producers, and the deal was almost done, but the money they asked for is stupidly higher, on a very higher side. That can be done. We are in discussion having some series of Motu Patlu with some celebrities, like there's a series of Salman Khan or Zaidi or something. So those discussions are on, but those are again need to be supported by a bigger partner, like a broadcaster or something. Doing it on your own is very, very costly affair. People, I don't think, but people don't have that bigger pockets to sustain it and then keep delivering it, because if you once you start producing it, then you need a partner to distribute that also. So it's a very long chain and costly affair. That's the main problem. Otherwise, you would love to do it.
Okay, how about you, uh, Kuriya Koshi? Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with Shekhar. Obviously, it is the cost is a very say intimidating factor. Having said that, we have done some amount of tie-ups with like movies as and when they come out, but it's usually like where they license our work as opposed to us licensing their work. Because I mean, it's one, I don't think it's fair to compare like, like the Indian comic book industry to a Marvel or DC. Because for them also, like, I mean, they faced that same lull in the 90s. Marvel was almost bankrupt, right? And they made their money, like, when they decided to go full-fledged into the MCU and launch the cinematic universe and pump billions of dollars, like, to make what it is today. And I would love to be at the forefront of that, but, who's giving me billions of dollars? It's a very simple, like, question. But we have done
You
a lot
guys,
of tie-ups with, I
you
mean,
have
for
not
example,
got my.
most recently,
Yeah, sorry, you have not got my question. My question is that what stops you from taking some of these Bollywood movies and some of the South movies to be converted into comic books? It's a different
so,
vertical
like, I
altogether.
mean, like, honestly, for us, yeah, no, so honestly, for Tinkle, like, my priority would be to push the Tinkle characters and the characters that we create. Having said that, we have worked with some movies, for example, Padmavat and Tanaji. We have done special covers. We did a 3D cover of Padmavat with Deepika Padukone on our Amar Chitragatha comic. Tanaji, we had Ajay Devgan, appear. The recently released Hathi Meri Saathi, that stars Rana
Mhm.
Daggubati. We
Yeah.
had a running feature in Tinkle for almost a year where we were exploring his protagonist character as a child.
Yeah.
Where he discovered his love for elephants and so on. So those
Yeah.
deals are on definitely, and they do happen. But for me, honestly, the focus would be to keep our own characters alive at this point. I want to see Shikari Shambhu on the big screen. I want to see Supandi on the big screen,
No, I
and that's what I
understand
would
that.
want to push.
That's one side of business. I was
Yeah,
wanting
and
to
the
ask
other
you
side
about
is
the
the
other
money
side.
making side. Exactly. So
Anyway,
we are
so
constantly
my
looking for partnerships.
we have almost run out of time. My quick question to you guys is in terms of uh, making uh, making sure that you are creating characters which are relevant with times and which the kids can relate to. But how much of it, Richa, do you get it tested before releasing it? Do you have any kind of pre-testing done before you actually release?
Ashish, you're asking about characters.
Yeah, characters and the stories that you want to do.
So I don't think you can do a testing of stories. I don't think for the audience that we serve, you can do a testing of stories. It's a lifelong love, and it's a lifelong habit that you know what kind of stories your audience is reading. I will just take a moment to answer the question that you asked before. In my capacity as a person who's trying to bridge the gap between a publishing house and seeing some beautiful characters on television screen, I find there is a great paucity of storytelling in India. When you look at original storytelling, I mean, keeping the myths aside, I'm not a very big favor of reculling or recutting uh, ancient scripture, because I'm sure there is much more than Indian children should be exposed to. But uh, I find there is a huge paucity in storytelling. We are looking for Champak to come on as animation, but we are not able to find good story writers within the country who can animate these characters. That's at least my experience. Secondly, when you look at whether these movies can be made into comic strips, I would like to ask the question: where is the audience? I don't see the audience. Which is the audience are you looking for? Children, definitely not. I don't want my children to read Singham. I mean, I don't even understand why should children see animated Singham. It's very, very chauvinistic. It's very, it's one person says it all, and violence is the answer. I don't want my children to see Little Singham. So I have, I mean, I feel that if you're serving children, you have to keep in mind what are the values that you want to bring to them. And to the children that we would like to reach out to, we would like to have very basic human values, which is fun, love, sharing, caring. And I find it missing in Indian animation. Whatever Indian animation is coming out, it's meant for adults. I don't see it meant for children. I feel it's very slapstick. Um, it's violent to some extreme, and it's not helping them overcome problems or even imagine. So I think to a large extent, when you're asking Ashish, what is the litmus test that you do? I think you do that litmus test as values to the organization. What kind of values would you like your children to read? What kind of fun would you like your children to read? And these are my personal views. I don't mean to, say
Absolutely. In
anything
fact,
against the industry.
I know when you say, that you don't like it, that's fine. But a large amount of television content is pre-tested, and that's what the kids are looking for, and that's how the ratings are showing a lot of things. But having said that, I think this question can never be answered straight,
Never.
but then everybody
Yeah.
will have their own takes. But having said that, I think this is one industry which would actually be forever young, because it deals with the basic styles of drawing and a simple form of storytelling that doesn't require any gadgets or any of these things. If you don't want to go on the digital, it's probably one of the finest engaging mechanism for all ages, instant engagement, and it can very easily be converted into all languages and very easily understood by the audience in all languages. And that's why this industry can remain forever young.